was a year, wasn't it? So 2020 is finally over, and we all know that it was definitely not a good year for, well, anything really. I mean, there were lots of problems out in the world. There were just so many things that were getting everything stressed out, and it just all became a lot to handle. But as us as children, adult children, and toy collectors in general, I'm pretty sure everyone got at least a fair amount of some pretty good toys this year. Let's do this trend one last time. This is my TF20 of 2020. Don't expect any more of these huge numbers. After this, I'm just going to 10. Can't be doing with these huge numbers anymore. But before we get to the actual list itself, I actually have some honorable mentions. So for honorable mentions, first up we have Vector Prime. And you guys may know that I actually used to have this figure. It was on my 2015 list, but I sold that one, and I needed to get it back for the 13 Prime shelf I've got going on over there. Plus now, not only does he have his sword and his cyber key and his electronics work, he also has a little safeguard there, which is really nice. Next up for honorable mentions, we've got X-Transbot's Hatch, I think his name is. That seems about right. It's the third-party Masterpiece style tailgate. And this guy was a gift from a Tail Potato, and he looks so good, and his vehicle mode also looks good, but I've never gotten him into it. I don't think I ever will. I've seen his transformation. It's so complicated. I just do not have the time or the patience to do that. Plus, I'd be worried about breaking some things. But he's just going to stay in tailgate mode forever. It'll just be sitting over there with the G1 version. Next up, we've got Hunt for the Decepticons Terror Dive. Now, this is a figure I have been wanting for a long time because he looks so good. It's a nice original design. Just a nice character. Plus, he comes with a huge trident weapon that he can dual wield. That's awesome, right? Well, the reason that he's just down here on the honorable mentions is because his legs like to come off very easily. And apparently that's a problem that a lot of people used to have when he was coming out, and that's really unfortunate. I still like him, but not enough to put him on the top 20 list. Last up for honorable mentions, we've got Generations Sky Shadow and... oh my god. Hang on, I'll be right back. I need to figure this out. Generations Black Shadow and Thunderwing. I knew his name. I totally didn't need to take a break and go figure it out off screen. Anyway, I used to have this guy, and I'm pretty sure I wanted this guy, but I wanted him back, and I wanted this character for my collection as well. So, and these are just my preferred versions of these characters, so it's just how I wanted them. Alright, now on to the actual 20. Coming in at the bottom of the top, we've got Siege 35th Anniversary Optimus Prime. Now, in my review, I said that this guy was a miniature masterpiece, and while I definitely retract that statement, this is still a fun toy. And it's one of the reasons why I started the Optimus Prime shelf. So it's like, why wouldn't I include him on this list? It was my first figure of 2020, and it's super fun, and it's an Optimus Prime. How would I not, right? Number 19, we've got Cybertron Cannonball. Now, this is 100% another figure that I really wanted, and honestly, it begs the question for me, why is it that I really want Cybertron Red Alert in both of his forms, but just not as the character that he needs to be? Like, I wanted Cannonball, and I really want the Cybertron Defense Red Alert as the Universe Countdown figure. It blows my mind. But yes, this is a very nice figure. It's super fun. It's nice to have another Cybertron guy for the cartoon shelf. Plus his little piratey nature, that's his character, and these like skeletons all over him. It's just super fun. I'm super happy to have this guy. Number 18, we've got Combiner Wars Skylinks. Now this is a figure that I got from Kid Combo 82, who is a name that will be popping up again on this list later on. But I can't tell you how nice it is to have this Skylinks in my collection. I know that people are like fawning all over the command class Skylinks because, you know, oh, it does the thing that the G1 does. It splits and it can be two things. I didn't want that. I wanted the Combiner Wars one because it didn't have to split apart. It can be the one singular character that it always was. Plus, it still works in the lion head for the Combiner torso, which I think is awesome. There's a lot of playability with this, and honestly, it's just my preferred version of Skylinks. Coming in at number 17, we've got Studio Series Shatter and Dropkick. Why these two are together? Just because they go together, and they were the villains of the Bumblebee movie. Now you guys might remember, I actually used to have the other versions of these characters, the Car Shatter and the Helicopter Dropkick. Well, I actually decided to go with these ones because these ones are so much more fun and not as fiddly. Plus, they're both more accurate to how they looked in the movie. These are just the better versions of these toys. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Coming in at number 16, we've got Generation Select's Exhaust. Now, this is a young lady that I'm very happy to have in my collection. And yes, she is a lady in my collection just because I honest to God always thought that she was a girl. The point is, this is who she's going to be in my collection, and I'm very happy to have her. Just nice head sculpt. It's a fun toy. Honestly, the Wheeljack mold is fun. It wasn't enough to make me want to replace my Generations one back there, but enough for me to buy twice. Number 15, we've got Reveal the Shield Deep Dive. Now you guys saw that I just got this guy from Larry very recently, but he's already just a lot of fun, and I'm very happy to have him. God, look at that light piping. It's already piercing through. Honestly, just this is very nice. And this is also a gift that I got from my best friend, Larry of Larry Edge Productions, who is about to get another mention right now. For you see, he helped me procure some items for number 14, Generations Drift. Now to start off, what he helped me with was he helped me get the 2 swords that are in these side scabbard skirt pieces, which I really appreciate him on, and I hope that he knows that. But I'm so happy to have this guy. This is 100% the definitive version of Drift for my collection, because every other Drift toy, honestly including the third-party figures, just aren't as good as this. It's so good. I'm so happy to have him. Number 13, we've got Earthrise, Blue Streak, and Smokescreen. Now Smokescreen here now both of these guys were given to me by Kid Convo 82, one of which I paid for, but I'm very happy to have done so. These guys are just the best versions of these characters, and they put the universe versions to shame. I'm still gonna have the universe versions for probably a custom of some other character, but I just don't know what I'm gonna do with them yet. But these guys are gonna be my Datsun bros, and I desperately need to get the Ironhide Proud Pack from Amazon so that way I can replace them up on my shelf. But hopefully that'll come in 2021. We'll have to see. Coming in at number 12, we've got Universe Inferno. Now, again, yes, I know that there's a new Inferno figure coming out in the Kingdom line, but this is the one I wanted. It's big, it's beefy, it's got good articulation, it looks so nice, it does still have the head wings. I don't know what you want me to say. This is just my preferred version of Inferno. Plus, I've already got that mold. Yes, indeed, number 11 is Earthrise Grapple. Now, even though that there was the horror story about these pegs that are in the back here, just this guy is still too much fun for me to ignore. I'm so happy to have this. This is basically a retail masterpiece of the character. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. All he needed was just a few paint apps, a little bit of work done on these pegs back here, and he's basically perfect. He's the perfect grapple for your classics collection, or just your collection in general. Halfway through the list now, and we're getting to some heavy hitters. Number 10, we've got Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have this guy in my collection. This is 100% my preferred version of the character. Yes, the Siege version and the Kingdom version do look fine, but they're just lacking in certain areas that this guy is not. He's such a good toy. Such a commanding Ultra Magnus, and just the best version of Ultra Magnus that we've gotten. Coming in at number 9, we've got another huge boy. And this is Energon Tidal Wave. Oh my lord, I can't tell you how happy I am to have a Tidal Wave in my collection. Let alone the one that Thew has. That honestly made me want to get a version of the character. It's such a fun toy, and I'm so happy to have him in my collection. Him and his little minicon as well. Number 8, we've got another double, but it's okay because they're basically the same. We've got Runabout and Runamuck. Now, as you guys saw, that this guy just got unboxed like recently, but it's such a fun mold to have that I just couldn't keep them off the list. And I hope to do a review of these guys very soon. Number 7, we've got Back to the Future Gigawatt, which is a figure I did not know would ever happen, but now that it has, I'm so incredibly happy. Of course he was going to be on this list. Of course he was. You couldn't keep him off this list. Because not only is he a super fun toy like I talked about in my review, but something else I just learned from watching Theo unbox his, you can turn Mr. Fusion into a watch by putting him into the weapon port there. That's fucking awesome. Number 6, we've got Studio Series Blitzwing. Now, you guys know how much I love this figure, even though he thought he could hide. It's just so fun. It's a good representation of how he looked in the movie. He's really big. I'm so happy that this mold is getting another shot with the Starscream and Seekers. It's gonna be awesome. Coming at the top 5 now, these are the 5 best of the year. And this is one that I filmed a review of, but I don't know if I even showed you guys that I got this. It's Mastermind Creations Kultur! Yes, this is my second Mastermind Creations figure, and good gravy. He is so incredible. I love him so much. This is the perfect Tarn toy. It blows the custom I had out of the water, and you know what? I'll save my gushing for the review that's already filmed and just needs to be edited. So if you want to know more about this guy, go look for his review. Just be patient with me. I'm doing my best. Coming in number 4, this is the latest entry that we've got on this list, but still, it's super fun nonetheless, and obviously he was going to make the list. It is Amazon Combiner Wars Blast Off, the shuttle mode. I can't tell you how happy I am to have this guy, because not only is he super fun, super accurate, like he's so much better than the Jet version. I'm not even sorry. I cannot lie to you. This is some good stuff, guys. And to round off Combiner Wars Bruticus. Yes. Top 3 now. Number 3, we've got a 3-piece. We've got Earthrise Cliff Jumper, Generation Select Hubcap, and the Netflix Bumblebee. The reason that these guys are all together is because they are the exact same mold, share the same skeleton transformation, but overall they are just some of the most fun figures that have come out this year. Yes, they are small. Yes, they come with the same weapons. Yes, they're backsides of the car parts form. But you know what? I don't care. This is the definitive Classics Cliff Jumper that we have been asking for years. That isn't just a Bumblebee repaint. It came out before the Bumblebee version, and it's so funny because these guys are so different enough that even though they do share the same transformation, they feel different. And that's incredible. Not only is it such a fun toy in and of itself, but the gun that it comes with some play value as well. These guys are just incredibly fun, and honestly, some of my favorite toys that have come out in 2020. Number 2 goes to another third-party figure, and if you guys have seen the review, you guys already know who it's going to be. It is Mastermind Creations Nitro, the override that I have been longing for my collection. I gushed about her a lot in her review, but she's just great, guys. Incredible job, Mastermind Creations. I love her so much. Alright, number 1. If you guys know me, you already know who it is. Because the number 1 spot can only go to one bot. Earthrise Optimus Prime. Again, some people are just going to say that it's overpriced, it's a little small, it's just not what they were expecting, and they were a little disappointed. I am very much not disappointed because this is my favorite Earthrise figure, my favorite figure of 2020. And yes, while people did complain about the trailer, like having this big gap here, I fixed it. Like, I'm very happy about that. This is the definitive Optimus Prime for anybody's Classics collection. This is a miniature masterpiece. I talked about how much I love this thing in his review earlier last year. Just go watch that if you want to know all my thoughts on him. But man, this is the best. So that's it. That's my top 20 of 2020. After this year, we're only going to be doing top 10s. You're just going to have to deal with it. Okay, I'm going to go film my collection update video for you guys, and we'll get all this uploaded, and we'll have a good 2021, hopefully. Let's make this next year better, okay, guys? Let's be good to each other, all right? Thank you all very much for watching. This has been 01TRANSFANS, the #1, and I will talk to you all next time.